Hello, Degens! Welcome to Degenerate Takes. Kind of early midweek update? Let's call it that. Yeah, let's go early midweek update. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ, and joining me today on this beautiful May the 10th, 2022, the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell are you doing today, bud?
Dude, I'm great. By the way, Tuesday tune-up. That might be a little...
Ooh, Tuesday tune-up.
I know you're
welcome to Tuesday tune-up.
Yeah, AJ, you were struggling a little bit there. I figured I'd hit you with an assist with the Tuesday tune-up.
Holy shit, an assist, Noah. I wish that's something the Suns knew how to do, but we'll get to the NBA later. How you been, man? How's the weekend? How was watching them Wild play, bro?
It was great to see him out to a 2-1 lead after dropping the first game. Obviously, Sunday, Mother's Day, I was watching the game. Don't worry. Took mom out to dinner, brunch, all the other stuff. I just did catch the Wild game in the middle of that.
All right. That's
disappointing game.
Yeah.
Also, the worst part was, and then the Suns, both in the same day. I'm like, two very disappointing games happening at the same time, flipping back and forth, and I'm like, God, these both suck. Anyways, we're very excited for Game 5 of both of these series. Time to reclaim the series lead for both the Suns and the Wild tonight.
Yeah, big Game 5.
Both of them will be coming up in the next hour or two as we are recording right now. You'll probably not be watching this before they start. Maybe you will. I don't know. Anyways, AJ, super pumped for tonight's games.
Bro, super pumped for tonight's games. Definitely, we're going to just make this a quick episode so we can go and watch those because I don't know about you. I got a nice little parlay riding right now, and I cannot wait to cash that at the window. But Noah, let's get right into it. Talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs. Noah, when we're talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs, the one thing that I want to really hit home here is that these boys are flying. Holy crap, bro. Like we were talking about in the last episode, the intensity, the effort, just everything is 10x. It's unbelievable. Shout out to these boys. It's been unreal. It's been unreal. Noah, what's your biggest storyline taking away from this weekend?
I mean, obviously the Avs completed the sweep against the Predators in the first round. Not that that's super surprising. I had the Avs in 4 in my bracket. That was the only series I had going to a sweep. And, you know, the biggest story is obviously the fact there are 6 series tied 2-2 going into Game 5. That is tied for the most all-time in the NHL playoffs.
Dang.
It's only happened once before that there's been 6 series tied 2-2. So everything very, very close right now. These Game 5s will be huge. Absolutely huge. If you're a home team and you drop your Game 5, you're probably screwed. If you're an away team, you got a little bit of a chance still. But these Game 5s, same thing as in like with basketball, like these Game 5s when you're tied 2-2 are just so important.
Yeah, no, like we were talking, like you were mentioning these games, a lot of them 2-2. These teams seem to be thriving in their home barns. And, you know, obviously hockey, any sport, home court advantage, especially in the playoffs, is a big deal. But I feel like we're seeing such a much more 50-50 split. We were talking off air. This night you're taking, this night that we're recording, I believe you're taking all favorites, right?
Yeah, I'm on all 4 of the home teams tonight.
Well, listening to this tomorrow, we'll see how that works out. Let us know in the comments down below if Noah's a better than Dave Portnoy, who can't hit a bet, and so he's bitching about flying in first class on Twitter. Jesus Christ, that guy can whine better than he can lose a bet. It's unbelievable. But yeah, these home teams flying around in their home barns, just coming back and really making it a hard series to pick because I want to stay, like, for example, let's talk about my Calgary and the Stars. I've been big on the Stars all year. They've been a moneymaker for me. Shout out Hammer Dan from Pat McAfee Show. They put me on the Stars, and they've been cashing. They continue to cash going into playoffs. The Flames, they were just so hot, and when they go home, that's where I start to get worried because this home court advantage in hockey is just unreal. With that being said, Noah, I don't really know much else about hockey to get to have another take on it. So, what else are you seeing coming out of this weekend of hockey going into this week and hopefully the end of the first round?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously the Avs have closed out by sweeping the Predators. Not a big surprise there. The only other series that's not tied 2-2 right now, the Rangers and the Penguins. I would expect the Penguins to win, but I mean, don't count out the Rangers.
Ooh.
Their coach reportedly sticking with Shesterkin in goal as their goalie. He's been the best goalie of in the entire NHL from like start to finish this year. He's had a couple of really bad outings in their last 2 games, but because of like if he's not like mentally handicapped by what's gone on the couple of the last couple of games, like if that's not holding him back, I mean, he could absolutely stand on his head, and I could see New York potentially coming back in that series from 3-1, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
Yeah, neither would I. I mean, I probably will be putting some money on it, something, but not sure what it will be when it comes to the NHL. It seems to be a much more day-to-day thing with these teams seeing who's home and who's away. Noah, before we move on, do you have anything else to talk about when it comes to the Chell?
Hey, man, just Kirill Kaprizov, Kirill the Thrill. He's on another level. He's playing great this playoffs, as are a number of other guys. But shout out to Boston. I mean, it's not panning out early in this game so far, but shout out to them for putting together the perfection line, is the nickname that it has. Finally putting Bergeron, Marchand, and David Pastrnak back on the same line. I think that was a great move, although it's not panning out so far in this game. But
not panning out the best, but still the best move. Sometimes you make the most educated decision, and it turns out wrong, just like my everyday 15-leg can't lose parlays. But at least I admit they're going to lose and don't call it a mortal lock or something like another bettor that sits on a bar stool and talks all the time. Hashtag Dave Who. With that being said, Noah, going from a playoffs that are just kicking off in high gear, going very well for both talking advertising dollars, talking viewership, talking just games in general, just overall gameplay has just been outstanding in the NHL and the Stanley Cup playoffs, to a league that is being plagued not by bad play, but by a terrible officiating and just miserable timing. I don't know. The NBA, the association, is a fucking mess right now, bro. I don't know another way to say it, because this is coming from a Suns fan who got screwed in 2 straight games by the refs, okay? Don't get me wrong. The Mavericks were playing excellent basketball. Luka has been on fire. The Suns' game plan defensively is not panning out. They need to adjust that. With that being said, though, Chris Paul fouling out 6 left, like on number 6 with his hands up like this. I mean, how do you do that? How do you call that foul and then not go to replay and overturn it? Or how do you call that foul and then there's not an apology put out later? Not to mention Chris Paul just had a shitty night in general. But with that being said, the association and the officiating just across the playoffs have been miserable. Yes, I'm not saying the Suns should have won those games. I am not saying that whatsoever. I don't think the Suns could. I think the Suns definitely drop at least one of those to the Mavs at home. However, I don't see a way around it. The officiating is taking center stage, where players like Ja Morant, R.I.P. to him, and his playoff run, great run, bro. But the Suns, all these teams deserve good officiating, and they're not getting it. The viewers deserve good officiating and not getting it. The bettors deserve good officiating and not getting it. And it's becoming bullshit, my dude. But that's my thoughts. What do you think about the matter?
Well, you know exactly what's going to happen, right? With that Suns-Mavs series. Suns are going to take Game 5 at home.
I double-checked the roster. I double-checked the officiating, which I never do, to make sure.
Oh, I've been doing that since the start of the playoffs. But speaking of, that's exactly where I was going. The Suns are going to win this Game 5, and you already know who's going to be put on Game 6. You already know.
Scott
You
Foster, take
already
Chris
know.
Paul under on everything that game. Save yourself a hard same-game parlay. Take Mavs money line. Chris Paul under on anything if Scott Foster is on that officiating crew. God.
But yeah, no, I mean the officiating's been terrible. Yeah, but it's been terrible all around.
Yeah,
It's
that's the thing.
and it's not a surprise coming from the NBA. It's not a surprise coming from the NBA where they have literally had former refs admit to trying to game fix and shit like that. This is the NBA. The officiating's bullshit, and it's all about TV money. They're going to try to push these series as many games as possible if they can do it with their greasy, grimy hands. Because the NBA is fucking stupid.
And now, no, I will not comment on. I will not comment on the scrutiny that NBA officiating has been under. I will say though, I get the ad dollars, I get the viewership, I get it. However, the NBA product, not arguably, is the best it's ever been. Like, in the history of basketball, the way the shooters are and everything, that we are getting better playoff games out of teams I wasn't expecting it from than we were a couple years ago. And just the way the league is forming, the way the style is, it's a faster. I like the way the NBA is going, but you throw this bad officiating on top of it, and it just kind of devalues everything that's going on the court, all the hard work, all of the preparation, those thousands and thousands of shots they took to perfect that half-court three. I mean, like, bro, it is just so disappointing to see such a good product wasted by a bunch of old people trying to run these courts. Like, it's getting terrible. NBA needs to stay out of the games. The officials need to stay out of the games. I should not know an official's name. The fact that I know an official's name and not just because of their tenure is bad. And I'm not a basketball guy. I'm a basketball guy now because of this show and everything. And so now that I'm noticing this, this is the soapbox I'm going to stand on. No, it's awful. It is awful. But enough about officiating. Let's get into what we're here for. We're talking about playoffs, I promise. As we said, Suns and Dallas tied 2-2, Suns dropping 2 to the Mavs at home. Golden State takes commanding 3-1 lead over Memphis. Obviously, Ja Morant being out is huge. That is pretty much the lifeblood of that team. I mean, they were like, what, 25-8 or 25-3 without him or something like that?
Yeah, it was. They had a really good regular season record without him, but that's regular season. I don't care that much.
Yeah, again, playoffs are a different beast. So, and the way the Warriors have been playing, they've been cooking. The Warriors have just been cooking.
Well, Memphis should have won Game 4.
Yeah.
If we're being completely honest, that's not one they should have let slip to Golden State, and they did. They could have tied it up 2-2, and they might have had a chance. I think there's a decent chance Memphis takes Game 5, but they're not winning this series.
That'll be later tonight. So again, drop it. Oh no, that's tomorrow. That's right. My bad. Or today, as we are talking. Yeah, I see. It's going to be at Memphis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's at Memphis, yeah, give me the home team. The home teams have been cooking, especially that Memphis crowd. Those last couple games of the season, they were just cooking. They've been rampant all playoffs. It's been fun to watch. Give them to me. Milwaukee and Boston. I mean, this has been a good series, bro. This has been a hard-fought series. Again, plagued by questionable officiating from the technical on Hortford. On Giannis, that was weird, or that was a flagrant, excuse me. But just questionable calls all around. Series tied at 2-2. Going back to 2-2. Yeah, going back to Boston, excuse me. What do you think about this game, bro?
I think Boston wins this series in 7. That's what I had at the beginning of the series. I'm not wavering from it. I think Boston wins it in 7. I think they take Game 5. I think Milwaukee takes Game 6 back. Milwaukee answers back, and then I think Boston finishes that out in 7.
No, I really like this Boston team and the way they've been playing. They've been fun. Although, yeah, they've been fun. I would like to see them continue to go. I want that matchup with the Bucks so bad, dude. I want that matchup so bad again. Give it to me, please. With that being said, Miami-Philly, that game is currently going as we are recording. I do not know the score. Do not care to check. I will check it after this recording.
Well, I can tell you in about 2 seconds here.
All right. Tell me, Noah, when you can. Series tied 2-2 going into this game. I've been very impressed with Joel Embiid.
Heater up 71-51. Third quarter's 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Jesus Christ. So looks like Heat up 3-2 on the series. Please tell us if we're wrong in the comments down below. Heat have been looking good. They're number 1 seed for a reason. That's all I got to say, really. Jimmy Butler's playing out of his mind.
All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Miami's going to win the series. It looks like they're well on track to win Game 5, which doesn't surprise me. I slammed the -2.5 that they were given for this one. It's just a question of whether they win in 6 or 7. They're going to win this game. Can they close it out in Philly? I don't know. Maybe if they don't, they'll win Game 7 at home. It's fine. Miami's winning this series. They were always winning this series, especially with Joel Embiid missing those first 2 games. But even then, I would have picked Miami with Joel Embiid completely healthy for the entire series.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. The Miami Heat have just been, pardon the pun, on fire. With that being said, Noah, anything else to say about the association before we move on to the last thing I want to talk about tonight?
No. I mean, go Suns. We'll see what happens later tonight.
Go Suns, baby. Let's keep it moving. Breaking news. Well, not breaking news anymore, but news out of the sports media world. The GOAT, Tom Brady, going to be getting a F-ton of money in order to call games for Fox Sports. Tweet put out by him. Excited, but a lot of unfinished business on the field with the Buccaneers, #LFG. I mean, congratulations. He got paid, what, $350 some million to go call games, right? I believe it was $35 a year.
Is it? That's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Oh, yeah, bro. He's getting paid like $352 million a year, I believe. Let's double check that really quick. There's too much.
They signed him to a 10-year contract?
Oh, yeah, bro.
That's so ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you feel the same way, AJ, but Brady's going to suck at calling games.
Excuse me?
He's not going to be good in the booth.
What? 375, excuse me.
He's not going to be good.
Noah.
No.
Noah,
Hear me out. Brady, when he tries to be funny, he's not funny. Like, ever since he left New England, came to Tampa Bay, he's all over like the memes and Twitter and everything. And they're not good most of the time. They're not good. They're not funny. He's not funny. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not Peyton Manning who's entertaining.
He won't have to be
he's
Peyton
Tom Brady.
He won't have to be Peyton Manning. He'll be Tony Romo, but a better Tony Romo.
No.
Yes. Noah, have you even watched Man in the Arena? Have you listened to his podcast that he has every Monday? Have you listened to any of Tom Brady on talking about football in an analytic matter besides the bullshit you see on the internet, Noah?
No, I try not to do that because I don't find him fucking interesting.
It's good.
He's boring. He's boring.
Get on the bandwagon because when he retires, he ain't going anywhere, at least for 10 years. And yeah, you're going to probably have to listen to him call a Super Bowl that the Packers are on, bro. So get used to it. Get on the Tom Brady bandwagon. It's not too late. Accept that he is the GOAT. Accept that he does deserve this $375 million for all of the hometown deals he took to win all of the Super Bowls. He made the ultimate sacrifices to be the best of the best, and now he is getting paid to talk about being the best of the best, Noah. I'm not going to accept that.
No. Hey, the only fucking saving grace here is you can't be much worse than fucking Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Now, I've had to put up with those two assholes for long enough, and now, sure enough, here in a couple of years, I'm going to have to fucking listen to Tom Brady and whoever the fuck they pair him with.
Well, Noah, at least when Tom Brady's on the call, we'll know which games we're live streaming on Sundays. How about that?
I got all excited about Joe Buck and Troy Aikman leaving Fox, and then now I gotta fucking wait for Tom Brady to come in. He might have, I don't know.
He's gonna
Actually,
do
I should
it.
wait. I should wait until he actually is calling games to judge him. I'll save my judgment for now, but I don't. I'm saying my prejudgment is I don't see him being a good commentator. I don't think he's going to be very interesting to listen to during the games.
I am going to tell you for the clickbait, I'm going to clip everything before you said I'm going to reserve judgment until he goes on actually the booth. So just for the clickbait. So you will be misquoted.
All right,
That's what
asshole.
the media does, to make shit more interesting. With that being said, no, that's kind of all I got. Shout out to Canelo for losing his last fight. I watched the fight. He got his shit absolutely rocked. Dimitri, shout out, bro. Congratulations for your biggest win ever and probably the biggest win of your career. Rose losing a decision in the UFC, questionable at best. That was a shitty fight to start with, but I forgot her opponent, but she should not have won. That should have been Rose's fight. And Olivier tapping out Gaethje in the main event to vacate the title. Not making weight, even though he weighed himself 3 times before, and he did have weight, and then a half pound appeared at the official weigh-in. We will see more reports coming on that, and I will keep in touch with that because I'm starting to get into the UFC, bro. It's great. I got my NASCAR. I can't get into the golf, so I might as well get into the UFC during the off season. You know, fight betting's fun. Fight betting is fun.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
Hey man, I mean, speaking of, shout out Max Homa for winning this past weekend.
yeah.
Love him. And hey, huge shout out to fucking Rich Strike.
Richie
Longest
Strike.
longest odds of any Kentucky Derby winner ever, 80-1. Only was competing in the race because of a late scratch for another horse.
Yeah.
And hey, that country hick horse just ran his ass off and was. Oh, I don't know if you saw, AJ, the overhead view of the race, and there were a couple different moments where that horse just had a major spurt of speed. I mean, that's a fast ass horse,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we'll be seeing you at the next major race, Rich Strike.
Yeah, that we will. That we will. With that being said, Noah, you have anything else for the D-Gens before we sign off today?
That was my anything else right
my
there,
bad.
AJ.
My bad, brain.
I just jumped ahead of you right there.
Yeah, you did. Holy shit. No, you're ahead of me. Yeah, I don't know. With that being said, we will most likely live stream something this week. Follow us on Twitter at Degenerate Takes, and we will see you next time on Degenerate Takes.